Welcome back to Unranked Podcast. Back with another episode this week. Got another guest joining us again, Austin Stewart, coming by to kind of talk a little bit about, we'll chat a little bit about the Colts. Don't want to hurt, bring up any sore subjects or anything. We just kind of talk about how they kind of ended the season.
Of course.
Things we might need to address in the draft. A little bit of NFL off season, and then we'll also just touch on, the big event in sports right now, of course, the NBA playoffs. So, just kind of kick things off, man. Last time we had chatted, the Colts, they were kind of peaking, doing whatever, doing what everybody thought they would do. And then it came down to that last Sunday in Jacksonville. And now, fast forward to April, they got a new quarterback, so they really, made some changes. So what are your thoughts on how that ended?
I'm as hurt as much as you feel I would be hurt. We were there. It came down to last week, but we lost 2 games in a row that we should have had.
Yeah.
So to end the season like that, legitimately on our shoulders and just give it away to a team that wasn't even trying to win. And then to carry that thought into the postseason, that we're so irate, we get rid of our quarterback without a backup plan, without a succession plan. So now we're sitting here trying to get into the Deshaun sweepstakes. We're sitting here trying to get different quarterbacks on the market, maybe looking to a Russ. People are canceling us out of their list, their trade destination. So I don't know. The whole situation left me with a sour taste in my mouth, even though I don't think the situation turned out to be as bad as it could have been.
Yeah.
It did feel like it was like we got rid of Carson Wentz just to end up with Matt Ryan, so that I guess those are kind of my thoughts. So
yeah, no, I think it's kind of crazy. Just like, you lost a pick because Carson Wentz played too much. Then it kind of cost you playoffs.
Yes.
That last game, that was definitely definitely should have won that game. But I definitely remember him also throwing an interception. I don't know if it was a pick 6, in Indianapolis against the Titans. Kind of that's another, game that y'all could have had. And, just the rough start y'all had and stuff with him just, being injured, sprained both ankles in one game somehow.
That's the thing. That's the thing with Carson, though. He did enough. He would do enough, right? He would get us. He would get us through some games. Some games he would play well. But he would do just enough to keep us relevant last year, but he also would be the reason why we would lose. So it was bro, we can't get some form of consistency out of you. Can't you just not lose us the game this time? Just do something like that. Just don't lose us the game this time.
Yeah. It just got kind of crazy because I remember there's one game, I think it was against the Patriots. He only threw for 55 yards. And I'm like, yeah, this ain't sustainable. You ain't no way you could be.
But that might have been the game that JT went nuts though.
It did. Yeah. So it was one of the things where it kind of worked out. But I'm like, all right, that's one game. You know what I'm saying? They just kind of shook out that way. But
that's even what's more frustrating about our team is that we have the back. Yeah. We have the run game. We have playmakers on the outside. I wouldn't say we have any stars. But we have people who can catch the ball on the outside, get it to them. We got a big body in Pittman. We got some speed receivers that we're gonna, I think, in the draft gonna try and target and get around them. But then we have the defense. We have the defense. We have everything we need in the defense. We could be a little deeper at DB, but we're looking at a top defense the last 2-3 years. Yeah. So that was what was frustrating is the story with the Colts. Everyone could say it. Everyone knows it. They're a quarterback away. But 5 years later, we're still a quarterback away. We've had the pieces around us, and we literally have had a different quarterback different starting quarterback the last 5 seasons, or we will after this. So it's frustrating.
Yeah. You got something to eat?
No, I was just gonna. I agree that it's frustrating. I know I watched the Pat McAfee show, and he was saying that they should have just, handed the ball off 35, 40 times that game just to secure the dub. So I know he was hammering that home out of frustration. But I know I looked at the draft a little bit, and you guys got the 42nd pick, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
You think, seeing how Matt Ryan is, older, probably don't have maximum handful of years left. You think you should go ahead and get a quarterback with that pick, or you should try to shore up the team that you have now and maximize him?
Well, to kind of to branch off that, we don't even have a first round pick, which also puts us in this weird thing. Like, we did all of this reacting to how bad Carson Wentz was, and basically had the whole organization shaky for a little bit before we could figure out where our quarterback situation was. But I'm sorry, to come back to your question, at the 42nd pick. So I say all that to say, I know I'm kind of riding the fence both ways here, but am I happy that we ended up with Matt Ryan? Not exactly, but at the same time, I guess it could be worse. We're talking about a former league MVP. We're talking about a guy who likely does have at least 2 more years, 2 to 4. So I don't know what that'll look like if he's in, blue and white, but I would say we would try and build for now, keep the team as a win now mentality, and go get a weapon. What I would think we would try to do, or should try to do, is get that pass pro locked up for an old veteran like that, make his life easier. I think we were ranked near about like around 30th in pass pro, obviously near the top of the league in run blocking, but maybe shore up that tackle position. We let go of Eric Fisher, I believe. I'd have to double check on that, but I don't think he's coming back. So shore that up, or always like to go get get speed. Speed kills. Yeah. I think let another receiver go as well. I don't want to
Pascal.
but I think it's Zach Pascal. Yeah, I was about to say, I think Pascal's out of there too. So go get sure hands. I mean, Zach, I personally really like Zach. Maybe I was biased because he was in the blue and white, but good route runner, good hands. Go get another guy like him, or just go get killer speed. So those would be one of the 2 ways I would probably attack the first pick there, the second round.
No, I agree with that. I
did a couple of little mock drafts on lunch earlier just to kind of see how it would shake out, as far as what might be available. And like I said, it's a draft. So, I mean, that, picking 42nd is kind of tough to gauge and, like, really be able to predict what's going to happen there. But,
for sure.
I mean, I just saw, like, I don't know how much you follow the college game, but, like, John Mechie from Bama. I mean, I think that, you got to hear him from Bama. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think he's like a nice little possession receiver, plug and play type deal. I think he, could be a contributor. And then another guy, talking about speed kills. His name is Jahan Dotson from Penn State.
Yes.
Then talk about him potentially sneaking into that first round. Pretty sure he ran like a sub 4.4, 4.44 at the combine. So that might be, a way to kind of just fill that need. Because when I look at y'all team, I feel like I got like all-pro guard, all-pro running back, probably the best middle linebacker in the league. Just got like, wasn't Gilmore a former defensive player of the year?
Yes, we just got Stephon Gilmore, who's still a lockdown.
So it's time, man. It's really
I'm saying we've been a quarterback away for how long though? Like,
yeah, because I do feel like this year, like I think I might take Matt Ryan over Tannehill. Maybe I feel like it's close, but like I think if it was coming down to like last game of the season, I might trust Matt Ryan a little more than Tannehill. Just because I watched what Tannehill did in the playoffs last year. We know Matt Ryan was like, we saw what happened to him in the Super Bowl, but like, I feel like just the quarterbacks they are, and Matt Ryan be a little bit more, older and more experienced. I think that should be a good shot finally.
I don't know. I guess I don't know how accurately I can say I feel about, or I can't say how strongly I feel about Matt Ryan's game because of the past just couple of years, right? They leave a sour taste. They leave a sour taste in anyone's mouth. I know Atlanta fans don't feel, great about how he's the past couple of years, but at the same time, I also am thinking, I'm like, this guy's a legitimate, double-digit year franchise starting quarterback. He's got a league MVP. He's had for as long as I've been a football fan, the dynasty that's ran the NFL had them on their heels in the Super Bowl. This guy's ceiling, or not his ceiling, but his high moments are high. So it's like, we can get some consistency at that quarterback position, even if it's not A+ or A, if it's like a B minus, but we just get that consistency at the quarterback spot, and then we put talent around it. I think we can make noise because, again, we got the defense, we got the running game, and we can get talent on the outside. We have a young budding star in Pittman. A guy to keep your eye on is Mike Strawn he was on the practice squad this year, but I think he'll make the roster. Big body, 6'4". He's got to be 220 at least. Can run, can big catch radius. Just a young guy. We had a deep room last year with T.Y. and everybody, kind of on the older end. So, but keep an eye on him, yo. I'm excited. I think we have a lot of talent. I swear. We just need to figure out what we can do with that Q position.
Yeah, it's crazy because what was it? Luck left, then it was Brissett, then it was Rivers, and then it was Wentz. Am I missing anybody, or that was pretty much
Luck, Brissett, Wentz, Rivers, Ryan. Yep.
Okay. Because and you already know, but it's you got Jacksonville rebuilding, Texans rebuilding.
It's a perfect storm.
Yeah.
And not to mention, we do have one of the best coaches in the league. I firmly believe that. Frank Reich is brilliant. He's a football genius. So, and dare I say, top 2, top 3, top 5 GM in the league too. So well-run organization. We should be able to get this thing rolling. It's just and it makes sense. We're just struggling finding the most important piece, not even to just the sport, but in all sports, that quarterback position is so special. It's so hard, and it's so hard to find somebody good at it. Makes sense why this would be the one where we're struggling.
Definitely have him over Baker 10 times out of 10.
Yeah.
So that's, you're already winning in that regard. So yeah, I guess, just to kind of, overall, the NFL offseason, what are your thoughts on? Me and Eli talk about it quite a bit. Probably just one of the craziest offseasons we've seen. Everything from the Brian Flores shit going down, Deshaun Watson stuff, and just a lot of the trades, that kind of went through. And, you always kind of see it in the NBA with the big old trades and everything and the big players kind of moving around, but you don't really see it in the NFL. So, what are your thoughts on that?
There's a ton. This NFL offseason was a busy one. And I know for time's sake, I can try and speed through it, but I'll try and give short answers. The Aaron Rodgers Packers situation has me just scratching my head. I couldn't make heads or tails of it. He just kind of says what he wants and then does what he does another. He said it wasn't about the money, but then signed the biggest deal. Says he needs talent around him, but then takes all the money. The Aaron Rodgers thing, I'm this is a classic example of someone just being too good at the sport for their own good. He's taking all the power he can get and he's just running with it. The Deshaun Watson thing is another head scratcher because he got all that guaranteed money and might not even play this year, but 2, got all that guaranteed money after not even playing a year. Guys, remember, he would take a contract just to play again. He just said he didn't want to come back to the Texans. This dude needs a job when he comes back. That was mind-blowing to me. So they paid a guy all that money, made him one of the highest, if not the highest paid quarterback for some hours, with not even knowing if he's going to play this year. That's beyond me. The Baker situation, I think Baker played his way and kind of talked his way into this situation as well. He didn't do great. Let's call a spade. Was he given the best opportunities early on? No, I can honestly say that. Do I think he has potential or could be something maybe in the future? Possibly. Mm-hmm. But what he put on paper the last year and a half, yes, he was injured some, but the whole Odell situation doesn't look great. Receivers asking for trades. Come on now. We got to read the tea leaves. Tom Brady coming back. Man. I know I'm speeding through these, and if y'all want to cut me off, cut me off. But there's just so much. The Tom Brady situation, he never – I called it when he did it. I was he's not really retiring. But for him to do it that, to him to not even, he playing with our intelligence at this point. What was it, weeks? 6 weeks?
Yeah.
Crazy.
I say he got mad that his last touchdown ball went for $500,000. He's I gotta come back and
for $1
million in the Super Bowl. His last one got to be the Super Bowl.
Comes back and in the wake of coming back, leaves a whole bunch of rumors about a coup to take over Miami,
bro,
with Sean Payton. Who just hit it And then people were like, why did he hit it? Like, what's going on here? Like, he's got the keys to the franchise. Why is he just stepping down?
Yeah.
Come to find out, they was about to run the whole thing.
Yeah.
Run it all over in Miami.
Whole plan
Take it over. Bro, like he was about to pull a Jackie Moon, like a player coach, like a player owner, bro. Bro, unreal. The NFL offseason was a dream. And then, too much time, but like AB, Tyreek Hill getting that money.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so much stuff, but
it's funny because like as you're rattling stuff off, I'm just like, oh yeah, I forgot that happened. Oh yeah, I forgot that happened. Like
sports have been an absolute treat this year. If you're specifically basketball and football, the 2021, 2022 last 2 years have been an absolute dream. Just the drama off the court and off the field, the drama on the field and on the court, along with like just strategic moves, trades, and stuff like that. Man, it's been nuts.
Yeah.
Can't lie about that.
Yeah. I mean, I think, and even too, like, draft right around the corner. Obviously, we was kind of touching on that, and more superstars going to end up getting moved. I mean, it's going to be guys that contract year coming up, or might not be as happy with their situation. Deebo Samuel, I mean, he's a good example. I heard he just want to go be closer to home. Like, he didn't even he just want to be on the East Coast again. So
he really said, forget winning. Like, I need the bag. Like,
yeah,
forget all that other stuff you're talking about. I need the bag.
Crazy. Yeah, and I will say this would be a good segue to what we're going to cover next, but I do just kind of like seeing more player control in the NFL.
Yeah, that's what it
was. Kind of just like, no, like you staying here, you playing. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like, no, like get rid of me, or like I'm not playing. So you're kind of forcing these franchises' hands to like, I get it. You sign a contract and like you gotta, you signed it, but like I feel like the team also got to act accordingly, act a certain way. If they're going to commit to you, they got to commit to you as much as you're going to commit to them. So I do like seeing the players kind of just stepping in, like, I'm not really rocking with this, like, get me up out of here type deal. So,
yeah. And side note on that, they got smarter over the last, 5 to 7 years, and they started inching up that guarantee. Like, now they starting to get the real bad. Like, before them big contracts, 10, 15 years ago, those really weren't nothing because the guarantee on those were very, probably 10% of the contract. Now they got smart on that, and that's starting to inch up. So now they actually starting to get to the bag, equivalent to basketball or baseball contracts or something, so.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then, too, just stuff to kind of keep an eye on. I mean, they're going to do Thursday Night Football on Amazon now. I think NFL Sunday Ticket going to go to AppleTV. So that's hundreds of thousands of users that, I'm going to definitely have Apple TV as soon as that happens, you know what I'm saying? And just for fantasy football reasons and stuff like that, the betting, I think Lamar gonna end up, 300 mil guaranteed up in that. I think he might, if he has a good year this year, I think he gonna be next in line. Him and Kyler, I think.
You think he plays this whole year without getting paid?
He's gonna do it.
I think Lamar will be absolutely out of his mind. See, this is the thing that as you guys were talking, do I love player empowerment? 100%.
Yeah.
But I think it's been pushed to a point where fringe players and players who don't deserve it are now awarded the same amount of power as the players who deserve it and have earned it. I say that to say, Patrick Mahomes earned getting paid early. Jared Goff didn't.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson earned getting paid early. Carson Wentz didn't. You see what I'm saying? You being great doesn't get you getting paid early. Having a great year doesn't get you paid early. Being absolutely spectacular, going nuts, playing out of your mind gets you paid early.
Yeah.
We're talking about Lamar Jackson, who got a league MVP in his second year as a starter. We're talking about Patrick Mahomes winning the Super Bowl and getting the Super Bowl MVP. And did he get MVP that year? His third year as a starter?
He might have.
Or second year, sir? One of those years.
Yeah, he had 50 tubs. I think he had 50 tubs that year.
Yeah, just going absolutely berserk. Literally being a game-changing talent. The league stopped and was like, all right, we're pivoting away from Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers and these whole and Drew Brees, and we're literally going to focal point Patrick Mahomes and the way he plays and accentuate his style. That's how you get paid early. You don't get paid early by having an okay standout year. yeah, Debo, you were nice, but like to me, I'm kind of old school in the fact that it's like, yo, you gotta also like be nice and fall in line. Like his pay year is next year.
Yeah.
Like receivers, skill players, like you put together 2 years. You show that you were carrying the load of the team. You were number one receiver, going crazy for 2 years. You like if he had enough, because we'll just put it in perspective. If he had an okay year this year, he wouldn't be asking for that money. So it's like they're basing their worth off of what they did recently, which is cool. All like that's all fine and dandy. But now I think players are asking for bags that aren't necessarily deserved yet, and putting teams in a place that makes the product awful for fans. That's why I was kind of wanting to bring it back to. Is like the only people suffering now at this point are the fans, because they'll never get to see their teams actually get to that point of running a dynasty like the Chiefs could have with Tyreek, with, you know what I'm saying? Like those players are gonna be out of there.
Yeah.
So that's kind of I wish I can't tell a person to not go get the money. Like if I'm in that situation, I'm chasing the money too. Like I'm just saying devil's advocate would be like, you put the teams and you put those markets, that fan base in jeopardy just because you're sniffing yourself and you sniffing the roses after one good year.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I agree with most of that. I think for me, it's like NFL has always been like a what have you done for me lately type league. He went, like Debo, we'll just use him as an example. He went stupid last year. Like they had him running the ball, like, doing all this other crazy stuff. Like, so I kind of see why he's like, all right, like we need to talk about some of these numbers. You know, because like
injury,
he'll put him in the running back, he'll tear his ACL. And they're like, well,
for sure,
100%.
Like,
sorry, yeah. And I think
100%. Right. But what if he laces back up and doesn't do nearly as well? Just has a mediocre season though.
Yeah.
What if he just regresses to the mean?
Yeah.
And like,
I think it's either that or he don't play for you, and then you see him, wild card round or whatever, and he's gonna destroy you. You know what I'm saying? Like I think it's just kind of like I feel like it's just like I said, it's one like the what have you done for me lately type deal to where
100%. But you got to think though, every single time in the situation, 100% of the time, that player is going to a bad team. The money that they're asking for is not money that an okay team is willing to give up, or a good team can afford to give up. So like when you come to the scene asking for record-setting money, okay, as of recent, then the Rams are kind of an anomaly. But take the Rams out of it, like, you know what I'm saying? The Packers and the Chiefs and like the teams that are at the top of the league can't just jump up and be like, yeah, we're just about to pay you all this money. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't have it. It's tied up elsewhere, and a lot of other good players. Or the teams at the middle of the market are like, all right, so if we take Debo on this huge contract, we're tied to this dude for the next 5 years. If he comes in and doesn't do anything, we have to pay him that money. Are we ready to do that? And I would feel like smartly, a lot of teams would be like, nah. Like, why would I do that? Why would I just knowingly handcuff my franchise to the play of this player?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I mean, I think it's what it's going to come down to, and what it's been for a while is like players versus owners versus teams fight for the, NFL. The expectancy is like 3 to 5 years. So it's like get your chicken while you can, and kind of keep it pushing. But it's definitely something different, like something interesting to like watch and like just see unfold. Like this motherfucker Debo, like in the club, like Debo come back to the Niners. He's like, no sir, like I'm not coming back. Like, you know what I'm saying? It kind of creates more of like a, just like, I mean, where it feels like the NFL is year round at this point now, because there's just so much always going on. Whereas, I mean, there's just not games. Like it's pretty much just
for sure.
So
I love the product itself. Like you said, like the storylines we get out of it. It ain't my money, so like I'm here for, you know what I'm saying? Like that stuff is funny. Right.
But yeah, we'll jump in to the playoffs. Shoot it to you, E. Just I know the squad went down yesterday. Yeah, it's okay, man. I get it. You're a little quiet in the group chat. It's okay. I get it.
hey, you had to be in to go down. That's all I got to say.
That's what I'm saying.
But no,
what's your take on that?
No, I mean, I think it's. I mean, there's no real reason for him to get swept. I mean, that's bottom line. It makes no sense. Regardless, I think they all year they had this lackluster. We can kind of turn it on when we feel like.
Right.
I think they quickly realized that couldn't happen. So, I don't know. I think it was a punch in the face. Hopefully, I would love to see I don't think KD's just washed up and he won't be in the mix again. But hopefully they could figure out a way to get it back together sooner rather than later, because this little experiment isn't working whatsoever. So no real excuses. I think it's just kind of it's real bizarre.
Well, I thought
and officially I don't know. It's just kind of odd, and I'm rooting for the Pistons next year in the playoffs anyway, so it won't matter.
Right.
Okay.
I just think it was just like because Kyrie played way worse and KD did, in my opinion, in that series. He had that first, that game won, but they still couldn't get the dub. I do kind of feel like Kyrie was like, all right, man, like, come on. And then just to go to the press conference and be like, yeah, next year, we're going to do it. It's like, dude, like.
Yeah, no, and then not only that, he kind of acted like he was the, he named like him, KD, and the owner. He was like, yeah, no, we're like going to manage this together.
Yo, that was wild,
he's
yeah.
Delusional. He's pretty delusional. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just for like as a KD fan, I wouldn't be mad if they find a way to try to ship him. Kyrie.
Kyrie.
Yeah. I don't know whether that would happen, especially how this all played out.
Yeah.
How much you can get back at this point, but I do think if he heats up through middle of the year, I wouldn't be mad about them trying to ship him out, just as a KD fan alone. But I don't. It's real. He couldn't stop the double team. He just seemed like that was his kryptonite. Like he had never seen.
He got outplayed flat out.
Yeah.
He got outplayed by, first off, him and Kyrie got outplayed. We're talking about a player who, I got so much on this. I know we're about to run out of time. I'm going to try and fit all this in. I can go for days. But Kyrie has always been one of my favorite players. He lost mad respect on this series alone. Everything about it leaves a sour taste. Getting swept, getting manhandled by the players who you're supposed to be manhandling. Yeah. And in doing so, not even attempting or making an adequate attempt to look like you put up a good fight. Like, he was getting dominated. They were getting dominated on both ends. He was dribbling off his leg. You know what I'm saying? Like, he looked unrecognizable. Yeah. That can't happen when you have Kyrie around the team. That also can't happen with the amount of shit talking y'all been doing or y'all do, the amount of cockiness that y'all just leapt through the season with. It's unreal. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I finally got somebody that can hit the game winner. Like,
there's so much. Honestly, this is
to that point real quick. The just getting outplayed. I'm a firm believer. With some of my favorite players, Kobe, Allen Iverson. Some of them guys. They would go down shooting 45 times.
Yes.
So I kind of feel like I would rather see that. I would rather see KD be 9 of 36 and a loss than what happened. Yeah.
That's why I text you on Saturday. I'm like
11 shots.
Yeah. Like, not even trying to stir the pot, but I'm like, I didn't see the game because I was out and about Saturday. I checked my phone. I'm like, KD got 16. Bro. They only took 11 shots or something like that. I'm like you just hit on the head. Like, I only had to really repeat it, but it's just at least give me 40.
Unreal,
you know what I'm saying? Like, try to get me at least 25, 30. Like, I get it. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. It was just kind of weird, just kind of seeing. They had a good game plan. Give Celtics credit. I think that's one thing you definitely got to do. Is just
the head coach. Yeah, the head coach was actually on the Brooklyn staff last year. So that makes a lot of sense with strategy and game planning against KD. But still, to have all these people woofing about how he's been better. He's been the best player in the league for the past 4 or 5 years. He was better than LeBron when he was in Golden State. And to hear all that, this season, this series alone, if you watch these 4 games, because again, it was a sweep. If you watch these 4 games, you would literally be like, I was wrong. Yeah. You could watch the series and be like, KD at best was always at his very best. His peak was only number 2 in the league. Like, that's what this kind of breaks down to me.
He even made the joke. He said, I've been number 2 in everything. Number 2 coming out of high school, number 2 overall pick, coming out of college. All right,
bro. Yeah. You had to join you had to join the 70, what is it, 73-9
Warriors.
Yeah.
It's all right, bro.
And
Yeah,
back to the friend. Why ain't Steve Nash fired already?
I don't see. This is the thing, though. Can we blame Steve Nash for any of this?
But he can't coach. I mean, regardless of how much
He might not be able to coach, but can you honestly say he's given a fair opportunity to coach? The team was ripped. His team that he originally had was ripped from him, and then Kyrie decided to be a part-time basketball player, and then KD was like, "I'm always going to be hurt." Harden was like, "I don't want to be here." Like, how could you expect anyone?
A better coach could find a way to say, "All right, KD, we can't keep doing the same, keep double teaming the same fucking way. Like, we got to figure something else out. We got to get you in a different spot on the court. We got to fit. We could have even talked Kyrie into getting a shot 9 months ago. He could, the different coaches could have figured out different situations.
But that's a good point. But except for
as far as giving that chance to coach, I don't think he's coached anything but this NBA team. So he was given this supposed to be a championship pedestal, and he blew it.
He was supposed to have a different team, and then KD and Kyrie came through and ripped everything to the studs.
That's true.
But to the point about like telling him 9 months ago, I will 100% agree. Like, a coach has got to be able to, like, one, establish a culture, philosophy with the team, and be able to call out stars and put them in the right places to succeed. My only thing was, like, when was he given that opportunity to even do that? Like, KD was like, when he's hurt, he's probably not practicing. Like, let's keep it a buck. When Kyrie wasn't there, he couldn't be there. So, like, when is he going to build that rapport with these players to be able to tell them to shut the hell up and run this play? Like, I don't know this to be a fact. This is just me kind of talking shit. I bet Steve Nash walks around the Brooklyn facilities on eggshells. That would be my guess.
Yeah.
I would guess he yes sir, no sir's Kyrie and his GM and his owner. I don't know that to be true, but just hearing how Kyrie talk, they call him Steve. So, like, it's, you know what I'm saying? Like, I personally don't. I agree. Elijah, you could be 100% right. He could suck as a coach. I don't think we know that yet, though. I don't think we can say we've given him the opportunity to show us that he actually sucks.
Yeah, I think, and I'm probably more on, like, I think I'm just on a fence with it, just because I do kind of feel like, just for the plain fact that, like, oh, we just get him in here because we don't really need a coach. So it was just like he's already like, all right, like, well,
let's get him for the name.
Yeah, he specializes in running gun.
Yeah, and then even just like, I saw, like, when I was at the gym, I saw that they legit, like, they lost like 7 players to COVID for like 2.5, 3 weeks or something crazy. And, like, I think KD was already out too. So, I mean, there were things that kind of happened that was out of his control.
Yeah, no, I mean, they definitely had like a month straight where, like, Bruce Brown was their leading scorer.
Yeah.
A rough patch, but I mean, that's, I don't know. I think that's hard. I don't know. Lots of teams had to deal with that type of, issue.
Right. Like, and like I said, I just think they need to, like, they can make an upgrade, you know what I'm saying? Like, if, like, a Mark Jackson becomes available, like, says decide he wants to come coach, or, like, some of these other coaches that might not be doing anything at the moment, like, it might not hurt to just kind of test them waters and see. But I just feel like I think this year is like a lesson, like, all right, like, we definitely need a coach. We definitely need some guidance. Like, we can't just sit out here and play iso ball and combine for 80 every night.
100%. That definitely has to be addressed.
Right. Now it's like, and then you got the common denominator, Ben Simmons. We don't really know with him at all. Like, you can't even really plan for him. You got to, like, it's real dicey for them, just because, like, you got Kyrie. I think they might have given him $200 million this year in the summer. And, like, you know what I'm saying? It's probably going to happen. You got Ben Simmons. He getting $108 million over the next 3 years. Like, you're just going to end up having one of these, like, podunk teams with, like, Blake Griffin and LaMarcus Aldridge, like, not really playing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just –
you've had a front court carousel too. Like, that's why I can't blame Steve Nash. They brought Blake Griffin through. They brought I can't even remember his name. Tall dude from the Spurs. He's still on the team. LaMarcus, they brought him through. Andre Drummond was on that team at one point.
Injury, like a had to retire.
He risked his life to come back. He didn't play.
Yeah, Andre Drummond was on that team at one point. Like, Seth Curry was not on that team 3 months ago. Like, for us to say, like, the continuity, I think when Kyrie said it, it was an excuse. So I don't really want to give him credit for that. But none of us can really feel good about saying, like, they probably had a good chemistry, right? Like, no one in the right mind would be like, that team probably had some of the best chemistry in the playoffs. It's just impossible. So that alone, I just can't indict the coach. If the players don't feel good playing together, how could you feel good coaching a bunch of strangers that don't feel good playing together? Like,
Yeah.
does he have some blunders, like moments where you're like, there should have been a timeout there, or that was an awful timeout, like different or a bad substitution, 100%. But then again, he is only a year 2 coach, so it's like they're all gonna have blunders. That's just my thought on it.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily saying you're wrong, Elijah.
Yeah, no, and whether it's true or not, I'd put it this way: maybe it's just you need to clear the air.
Yep.
Maybe.
Hey, possibly.
Yeah.
Everybody sit in the room.
Whether
And
I don't. Maybe, and all that is true. So maybe you couldn't. Maybe like you say, a lot against him as well. I do.
Yeah.
But maybe you just got to clear the air and say, we starting fresh. With
yeah.
I also want to hear you guys.
I almost forgot about the Ben Simmons thing. Oh my
God. Crazy. I do want to hear you guys' picks though for the other games, and not that you have to like elaborate on each of them, but I do want to hear where you guys are leaning.
Yeah, so I definitely got like Dallas. I mean, before the playoffs started, we had Dallas picking them or going, advancing.
Luka coming back is huge. Yeah, I had Dallas if Luka played.
Yep. I'm the biggest Utah Jazz hater of all time, so definitely wasn't gonna pick them to do anything.
Self-proclaimed.
Yeah, self-proclaimed for sure. Suns are in trouble.
Okay.
I would just say to chop it up, I think the finals, like what I'm looking at right now, is probably gonna be like a Bucks Warriors finals. That is what I think it's on track for. As much as I love Chris Paul getting his ring,
Warriors.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, so just to keep it short and sweet, I probably actually have to second that. Initially, I was picked the Suns, Bucks, with the Bucks repeating, but I think the Warriors just came out. It looked good, firing, even And,
yeah.
I don't know if you without I'm drawing a blank on his damn name right now. Without Booker, I just don't know.
Yeah,
Devin.
I think that's a big, too huge of a question mark. 27 points of void every night.
You know what them Hemis are.
Yeah.
So what you think, bro? What you think, Stu?
Come to think about it, that's interesting. I mean, I guess I'm gonna try and go down the list. I got the Bucks coming out of theirs. I got the Warriors coming out of theirs. Like I like all the favorites. I like the Suns coming out of theirs. I like Memphis coming out of theirs. I like
Sixers.
And I like the Sixers. Yeah, is that the last team? I think that's the last team. So honestly, this is one thing I want to say. I think that the Bucks are gonna have a fight in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah.
I think that the East can present problems to the Bucks, especially with Middleton out. I would have said this without Middleton even being out, but I do have the Bucks making it to the finals because Giannis is the best player in the league right now.
Okay.
Not right now. He has been. I still like Phoenix.
Okay.
I still like Phoenix. But then again, how can I like Phoenix without Devin? So you know what? I take that back. I like the Warriors too. Healthy. I'm taking the healthiest team in the West.
Yeah.
But obviously we don't believe in the Jazz and we don't believe in the Nuggets. Never did. The Nuggets about to